I was gonna, look cute and everything for this, but this is just for me. I'm gonna post it and it's gonna be on the internet and everything, but not even I think, this is just gonna be a documentation of everything that I'm doing with this process, and I don't want to like overthink it and over edit and try and like put up this farce, because that's not what this is for. Like I want to take this seriously, and I want to look back on this either at the end of this whole process or years from now, and use this as like a springboard to navigate the path that I'm on, and everything that hopefully by the end of this process I'm able to accomplish, or in the years to come, see my progression, essentially. So essentially what happened was I was scrolling on TikTok, as I normally do, and a video popped up on my For You page of this woman talking about The Artist's Way, which is this book by Julia Cameron, and she was basically talking about how Doechii did this all the way back in like 2019. It's a 12-week course on creativity it says creativity as a spiritual practice. So like each week you have a different set of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Activities that you need to do, and like basically it just helps you with your creative block, if that's what you're going through, but instead of viewing creativity as like a hobby or something, you think of it and work through it in a spiritual way. I'm not necessarily like as religious or whatever, but however it works for you. And since we are not religious, but we are spiritual, I decided to do it this week, and I'm on my first week. And we're just going to discuss everything. So I started technically on Sunday, right? I read through the first little bit, and then actually started doing the activities this week. So, actually, let's go to the check-in. Okay, so okay, so essentially this check-in, so it says, how many days this week did you do your morning pages? 7 out of 7, we always hope. How was the experience for you? So I didn't do my morning pages for 2 days. So I did it for 5 days, except for 2, which was the Thursday, and I didn't do them today, which is Sunday. And how's this experience for you? Honestly, kind of scary. Because I remember on the first day when I did my morning pages, I was just writing, because you're supposed to just write, essentially, like word vomit on 3 pages, which I did in this here journal. And the one thing that specifically stood out to me was, I was like, oh, I need money and I need a car, right? The money specifically because I don't have a job, and I want to release music now, and I've been like putting together ideas for the photo shoot that I'm gonna be doing for the releases and stuff like that. And then mom sent me money. My mom sent me money to buy the outfits that I need from Shein, because that's where we independent artists go, because we don't have the money for like the expensive brands and stuff like that. So she sent me the money twice, actually, because one for the purchase, and then I needed to pay taxes. And even though she like yelled at me a little bit because she was like, "You're supposed to tell me that you need to pay taxes," I didn't know. I've never ordered from Shein. Okay, so I didn't know that was how it worked. I just know there was taxes, but didn't know that was how it worked. So she sent me that money. And then the other thing was, I was like, I need a car. I don't know how I'm gonna get this car. I know that I need a car because the amount of money that I spend on Ubers and stuff like it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? And then that was on the second day. No, the first day, yeah. And the second day, I remember those are the two main things that I was like focusing on. And I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I need to do this. I was even like, oh, let me just like, I don't know, maybe try looking for a job, like a sustainable job, because currently now I'm a model, but you know, it's like it's not doing what it needs to do. I got the car, I got the money, and I was like, oh, this is kind of weird, but you know what, that's fine. Also, I haven't gone back and like read through my morning pages because you're not supposed to do that, but there was a lot of things that I would just spew out, and I was just like, why is this a thought? Like, I didn't understand like where it was coming from. It was literally like I was word vomiting on a page, because when I do my morning pages, I don't stop, because you know how some people, they'll like right, maybe they'll stop to think. Like I literally just go, even if like I'm finishing a sentence and I don't know how I'm going to carry on the next sentence, I literally write, I don't know what to say next. And then something will pop up and I'll just jot that down. And some of the things that I was thinking about, I was like, things like my relationship with my father, my relationship with my sexuality, like these were just being spewed onto the page. And I think about these things, but I never acknowledge them, I guess. And that was really something that kind of threw me off. And I obviously, because I'm still in the first week, so I don't really know how this is gonna evolve as time goes. But it was just, I don't know, like, even like, I don't know how to explain what I'm even thinking about, because it was strange to me, but also it felt like a weight had lifted off my shoulders. And something that was really, I don't know, it's strange, it's still only the best way that I can describe it, is on the second day, because also now I start like meditating after I do the morning pages and the affirmations. It was just something that I started doing randomly. I was just like, I'm done with the morning pages, let me meditate. So I found this like playlist on Apple Music, and I would just play it, close my eyes and meditate. And on the second day, I burst out crying. I still don't know what that was. I have no idea. But I burst out crying. But after that, I felt so cathartic that I was just like, oh my gosh, I need this. And then I think like an hour after that, my mom called me and she was like, by the way, they're about to drop off your car. So I don't know, like it's been such a weird experience, but in the best ways possible. And when I first started this, I was very, very excited, specifically also for the morning pages. I was just like, oh, I'm really, really excited to do this. And now I'm doing it, and it's weird, but it's also one thing that like I keep repeating is that like, oh, I know that this is about to happen for me. I know that my music's about to blow up. I know that I'm about to step into my purpose even more and my creativity even more. And it keeps repeating in my head, but I still do have these self-doubts, right? Because it's normal. Like, we shouldn't, but we do. And one of the activities or like homework that we had was you need to write down your affirmations. Actually, I can flip back to that page. Where it was like, write down an affirmation and see what negative thoughts come out every single time you write down this affirmation. You're supposed to write it down 10 times. So for me, it was, I create beautiful, addictive melodies. And I wrote that out 10 times. And like the negative blurts, some of them were, you can't even sing, you do better behind the scenes, you just don't have the look, why do you continue to lie to yourself, shut up, no one fucking cares, you spelled melodies wrong, you dumb bitch, you're such a loser. And literally every single time I wrote down, I create beautifully addictive melodies. And yes, I did spell it wrong. Okay, I did spell it wrong. But who fucking cares? But these blurts, like, because I'm a very confident person. I like to think that I'm a very confident person and that I'm very sure in things that I want to do in my life. But having these thoughts like come out every single time, I was just like, why? And that was so funny because another one of the exercises was we were supposed to write down three old monsters, people that just like maybe said something that made you feel not worthy of your creativity and your talents. And like I wrote about Michaela, I wrote about that one girl that like left a somewhat mean comment when I first posted on my other TikTok video, on my other TikTok page, which is now deleted. And it was just like, wow, I didn't realize like how much of that I still carry with me. Because again, like I consider myself to be a very confident person. And yes, obviously, like even confident people can be insecure, but I didn't realize how much of my insecurities I used to hide behind a fake confident facade. That was like something that I didn't really realize that I did and how often I did it. So now it's made me really think like, am I actually this confident persona that I put on? Like, do I really believe these things about me? Or am I actually a very insecure person who's putting on a facade, who's wearing a mask? Like, it's something that I'm trying to figure out. Like, I don't know. It's left a weird taste in my mouth, essentially, because I was just like, I thought I was over these things. I thought that I didn't care about these things, but clearly I do. And I care so much that it seeped so deeply into my subconscious that now every time I post something, I wonder, oh, is that girl who left that mean comment about my music, is she seeing this? Have I popped up on her For You page maybe? What about the people in high school who laughed at me and said mean things? Are they seeing these videos? Is it popping up on their For You page? And are they looking back and like being like, oh wow, not Fatu from high school thinking she can be a musician and posting these videos and she's only getting what, like 20 likes on the video, 50 likes on the video. Like, who the fuck does she think she is? She's still that loser from high school, you know, like things like that. Like, it's weird because again, like I'm just like, who the fuck are you to say that? I'm the biggest bitch there is and I'm the baddest bitch there is and I'm gonna do this. But then like these are the thoughts that are lurking in the back of my head. It was so interesting. And then one of the things is also we're supposed to go on an artist date. My artist date was, I actually just went to a park, sat down, and I'm reading the self-help book on like parental traumas and stuff like that. I haven't really gotten through it because it's like it's very heavy. So I'm really just taking my time to digest it. And that was what I did for my artist date. And it was really just nice to just like sit in the sun, read. I also picked up drawing again, which is kind of fun. I only did that literally on the first day, but it was nice. And I'm trying to like slowly ease my way back into like other artistic ventures, um because I know I have a tendency of like putting too much on my plate and then abandoning it halfway through because it's so much. But all of that to say, I'm liking the process, even though it does feel like a lot. Like there are 10 like homework assignments essentially each week that you have to do, and you only have 7 days, you know what I mean? So it's just like, whoa, this is a lot, but I'm enjoying it. Even the morning pages, like I was really really excited to do them in the beginning, and even though I've missed out on just 2 days, I don't like, some days I'm like, I don't really have anything to say, so I'm not going to say anything. That's why I didn't write. But now I'm just like, I find it stupid sometimes. I cannot lie to you. But other times I'm just like, ah, this was nice. This was fun. I like doing this. And it's like nice to just like release whatever it is that I wake up first thing in the morning and think about. And then after I do that, I go about my day. I also noticed that songwriting comes to me easier. Like, not that I've ever really had an issue songwriting. I think the only time where I've ever had like writer's block was last year, which was the first time I ever experienced that. Because normally when it comes to like songwriting, I find a beat, I like it, I hear some melodies, I hear some lyrics, and I jot that down on paper, and that's it. But I think something that is different now is I write a song and then maybe I'll take like a day or two and then I record, which is a change of pace, because normally I just write my songs and they live and breathe in my notes app or in this other journal that I have. But now that I can hear the songs, I also sit with it a bit more, and I play around with other things and go back and like fix things, which is nice. But yeah, that was the one thing. What was the other things? Oh, yes, I did my artist date. And then the last question is, were there any other issues this week that you consider significant for your recovery? Describe them. I think the main thing is the confidence thing. Like I said, it's something that I didn't realize that I struggled with, honestly. I didn't realize that I carry these things with me, these ideals from people who, one, are either complete strangers, or two, held a significant part in my life, but I no longer speak to them anymore. And now I'm wondering about my confidence and how I essentially need to take back my power. Because, you know, they say that whole like fake it till you make it, but I've never been someone that has believed in that, because I so strongly believe that I'm a confident person. So now I have to understand this new balance that has like it's so blaringly clear to me that I cannot ignore it. Like I don't know. Like, it's so in my face that maybe I'm not as confident as I think I am. And I think another thing is, I can't remember when I wrote this, but in one of the morning pages, something that stood out to me was, I was like, I don't think my fear is that I'm going to fail. I think my fear is that I'm going to succeed. And after I succeed and prove all of my haters, quote unquote, wrong, what then? What do I do then? Oh, this is making me emotional. Why the fuck am I getting emotional? Ugh. But it's like, what then? I've done it now. So where do we go from here? And it's so funny because even Tate McRae, this is like so, it's unrelated, but it is related. Tate McRae's latest album title, So Close to What, um, really like that title really resonates with me because I fully understand like what is the end goal, what is the purpose, because it feels like once a new milestone has been hit, I push the goalpost and I push the goalpost and I move the goalpost and it's just like, when will it be enough? I feel like as human beings, that is essentially what life is. You make a set list of goals, and every time you tick one off, maybe you find another one, or you learn what success looks like to you, and what once you accomplish those things, I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but like essentially you either end up on the one side where it's like, I need to do more, I need to do more, and you're never ever satisfied, or you learn what satisfaction to you means and what success looks like to you, and once you accomplish whatever goals you have set out for yourself, you look back at it and you're like, well, I did it and I'm happy and I've learned so much about myself and I'm grateful for it, and that's it. Um, but for me, I think it's also tying into like being African and being the firstborn daughter, and I did a lot of things that like I feel like people, well, not even people, but my mother specifically, I disappointed her a lot. So I think for me, to some degree, my brain is also just telling me, and I'm just telling myself, because you were not able to do something like graduate high school, you did drugs, you drank, you were not the perfect Muslim, and even now you are not Muslim. Like I do not subscribe to any gender. I'm a spiritual person and I believe in the power of my ancestors specifically, and in things like astrology. Like I've disappointed my mother so much, and I didn't live up to her expectations. So now if I fail, then what? Because I also think that's why like I'm so hyper focused on my age and why I need to do this now, why I have to, I'm just like, this is my last year like doing music and like putting my all in it, because if I fail, what then? Because I already dropped out of college. This music thing, like I'm doing it independently, there's no label, there isn't even a team. I have some connections, but like these are some of these people I haven't spoken to in years. I don't even know if they will be able to help me. I'm funding for all of this by myself, and I don't have a full-time or even a part-time job. I'm relying specifically on my mother because my father, he doesn't believe in me and he will never believe in me, and I just have to make peace with that. And I feel like because of our lack of a relationship, I've already made peace with it. But I rely so heavily on my mother that I'm just like, if I fail, not only will I be disappointing her again, this time I will be failing in front of people because I'm putting myself out there. And that literally just makes me want to cry. I cannot lie. Like, that makes me want to cry because I'm just like, what do I do then? Like, what do I do then? Wow, I didn't realize how heavy this week actually was. Like, looking back at it, like, wow, that's kind of crazy. But I enjoyed this process and I'm enjoying this process. So, we will see how next week looks. Yeah, but I'm doing it. I'm doing it scared, and I'm doing it fearfully. That's also something which is so funny that like I've been repeating to myself, like, just do it scared. You're gonna be scared for forever. You might as well just do it. You know? And yes, I have a small audience. Well, not even a small audience. Probably, well, I don't even know if there is even anyone watching this, but I'm doing it. And I feel like that's at least the first step. Because also something that really stood out was, it's like, Julia said something about, it's not about talent, it's just about audacity. And that really stood out to me. And I feel like it stands out to a lot of people because as the algorithm on TikTok works, you like one video and a bunch of others of the same topic start popping up. And so many people have quoted that. And even Doechii herself quoted it. And it was just like, exactly. Because I know I'm not the strongest dancer. I know some people would even hate my voice. And that's okay. I mean, look at Tate McRae. A lot of people are like, oh, she can't sing. Her tone is annoying. Da, 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 all of that stuff. But she had the audacity to start posting her covers on YouTube. And now she's a global superstar. You know what I mean? It's about audacity. It's never been about talent. Which is a whole different conversation to have. But I don't know. It's also just like, I truly believe that this year. But I've been saying that now for the past 2 years. And then nothing has come out of it. But then again, the difference between those years and this year is that this year I've actually seen people interacting with my music and talking to me about my music and stuff. So I guess there is that. But yeah, I'm doing it scared. That is just my motto for now. I'm figuring out the confidence thing, and I just need to be patient with myself. And even though I am doing this scared, I do still have faith. Like, I know my ancestors are watching over me. I know the universe is watching over me. And there is a version of me out there who already has this, who's already exactly where I envision myself by the end of this year. That version of Fatu, that version of EDANBIK, she's there. And I don't know if it's shifting. I don't know if it's a parallel universe, but something did change in me. And I always feel it when I'm meditating, that there's something that I'm not the same. Obviously, I'm not the same person that I was a year ago, a month ago, a week ago. But in a completely different way. And it's so powerful. That version of me, this current version of me, is so powerful that, listen, I don't know. That's why I'm also just like, is it confidence or is it cockiness? But I'm also just like, I feel like cocky is just a word that people use in order to downplay someone's self-confidence sometimes. But hey, I don't know. We will see. If by the end of this year I was just talking shit, that I'm gonna stand by it. I said what I said, you know. But if I'm right, not if, because I know I'm right. That's almost just like, am I? Do you see why I keep going back and forth? Do you see? I don't know. Hey, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But I know I'm right. So if you are watching this at the end of the year and looking back at it and being like, oh, she knew, she's always known, then we see each other. You know what I mean? We see each other. If we're still in the exact same place, oh, bitch, kill yourself. Maybe I shouldn't say that on the internet. I mean, you already tried and failed, so you might as well start living. You know, the whole like living in survival mode, that hasn't really worked out for you, so you might as well live to live, you know. Apparently this is the only life you live, so YOLO. Let me stop. Let me shut up. This is how I know that I'm done. Okay. This video is already long, but I'm not even gonna edit it. I'm just gonna post it. And if you are a stranger and you're watching this and you come across this video, either at the time I posted it or years later, months later, whatever the case may be, do the artist's way. Even if you're not a creative, I do suggest doing it, because you come face to face with some things that you maybe didn't even think about. And even the author herself, Julia Cameron, was like, just do it. You know, you may not think that you're a creative, but you might be. And I fully agree with that. I do. And I think it's just, it's something that everyone needs, I would say. Yeah. This is week 1. We did it, babes. I genuinely didn't think I would be here. But this is week 1. And things have already changed. So much has changed very, very quickly. But apparently that's very normal for everyone who's said they've done this. They've all been like, oh, the first week things just started happening. So let's see. Let's see. Yes. Okay.